Hi, I'm Lucy from Sew Essential and I'm here today to share a roundup of the Sewing Bee Series 8 episodes 6 and 7. So everything I talk about in the video today is available on our lovely website, and you'll find links to our website and all the products I mentioned below. And if you like what you see today, please like and subscribe, because every Friday I bring you a video packed full of sewing goodness. If you can't wait a whole week, do jump on and check out our other social media accounts. We're in all the usual places. So let's get started. I have had to lump together two episodes again. We had the Queen's Platinum Jubilee in the UK last week, so I wasn't able to do the episode 6 roundup. So I've lumped 6 and 7 together, but then after this week, I'm going to aim to do weekly ones for you. So it does mean I've had to make it quite compact. I can't feature every single pattern in the episodes, but I've picked out some favourites and some useful ones that I think you'll all be interested in. I'm going to mention tutorials and tips that we've got that you can refer to help you sew along with the bees as well. And then I've thrown in a few fabrics and a few bits of habby or tools that you might find useful as well. So everything I share with you, it's all on the website. The links to everything I mentioned, the tutorials and everything, they're all below. So Week 6 was Music Week, which is right up my street. Parka jackets. As a big Oasis fan back in the day, that's definitely one for me, and I love wearing a parka. I've got a blue animal print parka that's my festival coat that I love wearing. And then they also had a David Bowie themed made to measure challenge, and I am a massive David Bowie fan as well, so I thought it was a really good episode. Lots of opportunity for artistic license. So let's get stuck into the patterns. The Parka coat challenge was really challenging, very difficult. There was a fishtail to sew on the Parka, toggles and drawstrings that they had to get level on either side. There was a zip that opens all the way down, so again that had to be level. There was a snap fasteners. There was lots for the bees to think about, and I've got the perfect pattern that you could use, which is a unisex pattern as well. So it is Simplicity 9052. It's a Mimi G pattern. It runs in an extra small to an extra large. The extra small is a 30 chest, 26 waist, 32 hip, and the extra large goes up to a 48 chest, 44 waist and 49 hip. It's got all the classic Parka features: patch pockets, the drawstring round the waist, options for collars, options for a detachable hood as well, and yeah, just absolutely perfect for nailing that challenge. But I also wanted to show you a couple of other options as well that we've got. So we've also got the named patterns Circa hooded jacket. So it's not a traditional parka, but there's a lot of those parka style details on it, but also some other really interesting design details. There's a lovely big patch pocket across the front of the jacket, just around sort of from the waist down really. There's a hood, there's lots of snap fastenings on it, and like a storm flap to cover up the zip, drawstrings and toggles again, so lots of really interesting details to sew. It is a detachable hood, again something to really get your teeth into with this one, and very stylish, very contemporary, as we would expect from named clothing patterns. The sizes run from a 29 7/8 bust, 23 5/8 waist, up to a 33 1/8 hip, and up to a 52 3/4 bust, 46 1/2 waist, and a 55 7/8 hip. So good range of sizes in there. Really like the look of that jacket. And then the other one I wanted to show you is a super popular Parka style jacket anorak, which is the Kelly jacket by Closet Core Patterns. I know loads of people who've made this, and it's definitely a project to really get your teeth into. Again, lots and lots of details. We've got that classic drawstring at the waist, the snap fastenings, the storm flap to cover. Actually, this one isn't fastened with a zip. Let me just double check that. No, this is just fastened with the snap buttons. Yeah, but lots and lots of opportunities here again to really tackle some of those more advanced sewing techniques and create a very contemporary looking jacket. And this one runs in sizes from a 31 bust, 24 waist and 33 hip, up to a 46 bust, 39 waist and 48 hip. So quite a good size of range of sizes in that one as well. I just love those sorts of jackets. If you're in the UK like me, unfortunately summer doesn't always mean gorgeous tropical balmy weather. We still get lots of showers, we still get off days, and just having a nice lightweight Parka jacket like that to cover up on those days is really useful. I thought I'd just show you our 7-berry cotton twill in this like lovely khaki olivey sort of classic Parka colour. I think that would work really well. But if you wanted to go for something a bit more jazzy, we've got lots of other fabrics you could choose from as well. We've got lots of cotton sateens which probably could work quite well. You might need to block fuse them if you wanted to give it a bit more stiffness. But also that 7-berry twill comes in a wide range of colours as well. So there's some really bright popping colours. There's also like a classic beige, so lots of navy blue as well. So lots of options there. Then on to the David Bowie challenge. As I say, I couldn't include everything from the episodes, otherwise the video would go on forever. But the David Bowie theme, I was really surprised to not see more jumpsuits than we did. The first thing that springs to mind for me when I think of David Bowie is Ziggy Stardust, that whole era and all those crazy jumpsuits that he wore. But I think there was only one jumpsuit in the episode which Christian made, and he made one where there was like one leg shorter than the other, which was great to watch, but I think a lot of us probably wouldn't wear something along those lines every day or even to a special occasion. So I picked out a jumpsuit that I thought had definite Bowie's vibes, but is a lot more wearable for us mere mortals, and that is Vogue 1791, which runs in sizes from an 8 to a 24. So that's a 31.5 bust, 24 waist, 33.5 hip, goes up to a 46 bust, 39 waist and 48 hip. And it's just a fantastic jumpsuit in terms of original design details. It's fastened with a zip at the front, an invisible zipper. It's got fitted sleeve, it's fitted, it's sleeveless, but then it's got this really cool sort of cape that sits over the top of it, and it's just so very Bowie, I think, when you think of some of those Ziggy Stardust jumpsuits I was talking about. It's got princess seams down the bust and also at the back. And it's got waist darts as well to give you lots of shape. It's very fitted round the waist and the bust, and then you've got options for a more tapered leg or a really wide leg, and the cape's got a sort of little almost like funnel collar to it. Really original, really special. I think would have a lot of wow factor for a special occasion, and I just thought it would look wonderful made up in our John Caldor Prestige crepe. Comes in a wide range of colours, but I love this beautiful teal colour. That would work really, really well for that jumpsuit. So that was my pick for that one. But also Magny made a really cool jacket. Bowie was really big on jackets. You know, there were lots of different jackets, and very often they were quite boxy, sort of loose fitting jackets that he would wear, like tailored jackets but sort of boxy and loose fitting. And Magny made a really cool jacket which looked like McCall 7818. She used a tiger print fabric, and it had like a notched collar and some of the classic jacket design details. It was really lovely. And this pattern 7818 is actually a unisex pattern again, so great opportunity to sew for, you know, different people in your family if you wanted to, and for men and women. Also, I just think it's a really contemporary look, so you could make one in really jazzy fabric like Magny did, or you can make one in something more pared down, wear it with your jeans and a t-shirt. Just a great staple to have in your wardrobe. and this one runs in a small to an XXXL. So the small is a 34 chest, 28 waist and 35 hip, and the largest end of the XXXL is a 56 chest, 52 waist and 57 hip. And then finally, I couldn't do the Bowie week without mentioning Annie's beautiful dress that she made in a gorgeous metallic blue fabric. Really had the wow factor. It was like an asymmetric blazer style dress, and these are really on trend this year as well. And I also remember, if I remember rightly, Serena, who won the Great British Sewing Bee last year, she created a very similar dress as well. I'm not sure if they use this pattern, but it's very, very similar to the one that both of them created, and it's McCall's 7997. So it runs in sizes from a 30.5 bust, 23 waist, 32.5 hip, up to a 44 bust, 37 waist and 46 hip. So there's different options on this pattern. As I say, it's got those sort of traditional blazer vibes. It's got a notched collar with the lapels on the front. It's double breasted. It's got bust darts for shape. Has it got? It's got some sort of darts at the waist, some sort of fish dart at the waist to draw it in there, so it's really nice and fitted round the waist. And then you've got the option for a straight sort of pencil skirt, or you can go for the option that Annie and Serena chose, which is to do the asymmetric hem for an extra little bit of interest and detail. And as I say, when I did my trends report earlier in the year, there were loads of these dresses around, so very on trend at the moment. So that's the whirlwind tour of week 6. Then on to week 7, which was lingerie and sleepwear week. So quite challenging for the bees if you haven't made lingerie before. Lots of fiddly little pattern pieces, working with lace, lots of precision sewing required when you're doing such small areas. So yeah, a really interesting one for them to get their teeth stuck into. The first thing they did was make an underwide bra and knickers set. So there's quite a few patterns. We've got quite a few lingerie patterns on our site, but the one that I chose was has an underwire, which is Simplicity 8229. It's a Madeline pattern, and these patterns are designed to kind of help you and hold your hand if it's the first time you've sewn lingerie, so it'll help you choose the right size. There's lots of instructions in there. I've actually worked with Madeline before on something a long time ago, and she's really lovely, really passionate about what she does, and creates the most beautiful patterns. She's got like a business over in the States, and yeah, it's definitely worth checking her out if you don't know her. But yeah, the pattern runs from a 32A up to a 42 double D. So lots of size options in there, and then the knickers run from an extra small, which is a 23 waist, up to an extra large, which is a 39 waist. And yeah, just a classic sort of underwired lace bra and knickers set. But I think you've got options for a racer back with Madeline's bras. Oh no, not on this one, sorry. No, this is a straightforward bra, but very, very similar to what the Sewing Bees sewed. Then also, if you're not into underwires, another pattern that Madeline's done, which I absolutely love, is a really cute bralette and knickers set, and that is Simplicity 9478. And this one runs in sizes from an extra small to a 4XL. So it goes in cup sizes A, B, C, D and E, F. So, and then the knickers go from an extra small to a 4XL. So the extra small is a 23 waist, and the 4XL goes up to a 45 waist. So think a bit more size options in this one. You can create a thong or proper knickers with this one. And again, Madeline will hold your hand with the instructions, give you lots of tips in there as well. With regards to making underwear, we do stock lots of the accessories for bra making, including these underwires, which come in a really wide range of sizes. We've also got the bra strap accessories and the fastenings and things like that. It's only a basic range, but do jump on and have a look. I'll put a link to that for you below. And then we also have John Caldor Perugia lace, which is a stretch lace. We also do tocker, which is a non-stretch lace, and actually a tip that my mother-in-law gave me is that sometimes using a non-stretch lace can be quite good on the bottom of the cup because the weight of the bust won't stretch the fabric out. So, or you sometimes can use a non-stretch one on the top of the cup as well, which she has done. But this is the stretch lace. It's got a lovely scalloped edge on both sides. This is the red, but it also comes in a purple, a black and an ivory, I think it is. So if you fancy having a dabble, do check that out. And there are other bra patterns on the site as well. Jubliee do quite a few, even options for nursing bras and stuff. So I'll pop the links to all of that below for you. And then the next task, the made to measure task for the bees, was to make a pair of luxury pyjamas for men. So that was really interesting and quite a tricky sew again, because a lot of the pyjamas are going to have collars. Because they were supposed to be luxury, a lot of the bees chose slippery fabrics, which some of the bees worked, had really great results with. Others struggled a little bit more with the finish. So I thought what I'll do is put a link to our tutorial on how to sew with slippery fabrics. There's loads and loads of tips in there. So if you fancy having a go at sewing some nice slippery crepe de chine or satin perhaps for a pair of pyjamas, do check out that blog post, because I think there's getting on for about 10 different tips in there, including things like cut out on a single layer, using a rotary cutter and pattern weights, ironing on any interfacing onto the fabric before you cut it out, using a walking foot. There's loads and loads of different tips in there, so I'm going to pop a link to that below, so do check that out. But let's have a look at a few patterns. So the first one I wanted to share with you, Manu made an absolutely beautiful pair of pyjamas, really beautifully finished, very professional looking, and I think Annie probably also used this pattern as well. It's McCall's 8262, so it runs from a small up to an extra large. So the small is a 34 chest, 28 waist and 35 hip, and the XXXL is a 54 chest, 50 waist and 55 hip. And yeah, it's just a classic pair of men's pyjamas. It's got the notched collar again, lots of notched collars in the sewing bee this week, button down front, options for multiple patch pockets or just keeping it at 2, options for adding a bit of piping. I'm going to put a link to the piping tutorial again below. I've shared that with you before, but there's an excellent piping tutorial that we did on the blog many years ago, but some super tips in there for getting really neat even piping, talking about where you join and cross seams, how to get it neat and even, sewing the piping into the cord first for a really professional finish. So I'll pop the link to that below as well for you, so do check that out. But yeah, a lovely classic men's pyjama pattern, and options for shorts or long trousers as well with a drawstring waist. And then the other pattern that I thought I'd share was Brogan's Choice. I think it was Brogan's Choice. It looked very much like the one that Brogan made, but this is another classic pair of men's pyjamas with the notch collar, button down front, patch pocket, options for piping details. She made the short sleeves and the shorts, but then there are options within this pattern as well for long sleeve versions and dressing gowns or robes as well. So lots and lots of mileage in that pattern. It's Vogue 8964, and it runs in sizes from a 34 chest, 28 waist and 35 hip, up to a 46 chest, 42 waist and 47 hip. So another great option there. And I know it was all about the men and men's pyjamas. There's lots of other options on the site, so I'll pop the links to all the relevant places below, as I've said, but I just had to throw a couple of luxury women's pyjama options in here as well. I couldn't resist because I just adore these patterns. So the first one is Vogue 8888. Just really beautiful classic lingerie here. So you've got a lovely slip that you can make, which has got a lace, it's got a bra sort of top with a little panel, and then the A-line skirt, so that's a slip. There's a cami and shorts option, there's a lovely robe option, and then there's another sort of slip which has got a sort of cutout at the side. It just looks really beautiful. It's a way to sort of, you can sort of, it's not a cutout I don't think, but well I think it is a cutout, and then you put lace, like lace in the cutout. So really pretty design details on this one. I think they'd be a lot of fun to sew. And this runs in sizes 6 to 20, so a 30.5 bust, 23 waist and 32.5 hip, and then the 20 is a 42 bust, 34 waist and 44 hip, and the fabrics are things like lace, crepe de chine, charmeuse. I thought this John Caldor fabric would be gorgeous for this pattern. So it's Paris fabric, which is a polyester, but it's a very lightweight polyester, so it's like the sort of thing you would often see slips and camis and shorts made in for sleepwear. Super, super pretty, silky soft handle, lovely and lightweight. I think that would be gorgeous for that pattern. If I had all the time in the world and I had time to make clothes and lingerie and sleepwear, that would be next on my list. But also, if you wanted to make just a classic pair of luxury pyjamas for a woman, the Caroline Pyjamas by Closet Core is a great pattern. This is always so popular with our customers, and I've seen a million gorgeous pairs on Instagram. Really lovely. So it's very much along the similar theme to the men's patterns I showed you, the classic notch collar, button down front, patch pockets, options for piping, with an option for shorts or trousers with an elasticated waist on these ones. Again, another project to really get your teeth into, and these run from a 0 to a 20. So a 0's a 31 bust, 24 waist and 33 hip, and a 20 is a 46 bust, 39 waist and 48 hip. And also I just wanted to show you this fabric, which I think is just perfect for a pair of really lovely pyjamas. It's a cotton lawn, it's a Lady McElroy, it's lovely silky soft handle. It would be so lovely and breathable and lightweight for summer, and I think you could pick any of these gorgeous popping colours to add your piping detail. So they would be my choices for weeks 6 and 7. As I said, going forward, I'll do a weekly roundup for you. I'll keep my usual videos going as well, because I know not everybody who watches gets to see the Sewing Bee in the UK. So I will keep those going for you every week as well. But I hope you enjoyed that. Remember, everything I mentioned, it's all linked below. The tutorials as well, I'm going to pop those in for you. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.